Sir, no students are there, so I will start the class or not? No one has joined in this class, so I will start the class. Okay, only one participant you have joined. So we will start the class. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Acha. So last class we have discussed about the block 1. Have you present in the class? Lija.
Okay, ma'am.
તમે last class present થયેલો કે? Okay, okay. So I think you have know already that what we have discussed. Last class we have discussed about intelligence and regarding the creativity, and we totally overally have discussed about the block 1. And today in this class, today we will discuss regarding the block 2. And block 2 is the 4 units are there in the block 2 regarding the different topics like regarding institutions, what should be the culture of an institution, what is a systematic process of running an institute, what is leadership quality, and what are the different types of leadership are there, okay, and what is real power, what is the need of the power to run an institute, and also this block is going to discuss regarding the classroom environment, classroom management. So like this, several topics are there under this block 2, and today we will discuss regarding all those things. So first we will start. Are you having any doubt regarding the block 1? So before going to proceed to the block 2, is there anything doubt, anything else regarding the block 1? You can put your question here. No? Okay. So we will move forward for the block 2. And block 2, unit 5 is regarding understanding institutions a psychosocial perspective. It means the unit 5 is about what how a institute must be and what is the psycho and social climate of an institute. And from that point of view, we have to discuss regarding the institute. I think you all have an overall idea regarding what is an institute. Can anyone tell to me what is an institute? What is organization? What is institute? Can anyone tell to me? Who are present here, you can respond. Okay, you do not want to respond. It's okay. So institute means an organization where which is already established on the basis of certain objectives for achieving certain goals. Okay. So when there is a institute or there is a organization, a group of peoples are working, and there is need of the different type of resources to run an organization or an institute, such as material resources, human resources, financial resources, like different type of resources are required to run an institute. And a group of peoples are working together to achieve certain objectives. Because whenever an institute is established, behind of it there are certain goals. For what purpose this institute is established, and what are the main objectives are there, and everything is going to done from that point of view, how we will achieve the objectives. So that is the main motto of an organization or an institute. And to run an institute, different types of materials are required. As we know that there is need of infrastructure, there is need of furnitures, there is need of buildings, many things are required as a material resources. Like that, there is need of the different type of human resources, like there is need of a management to run the institute, there is need of an administrator, there is need of the different type of faculties, or if it is an educational institute, we are going to talk regarding the teaching faculties and the non-teaching faculties. Like different human resources are required to run an institute. Like that, there is need of certain financial resources. It means every day to run an institute, there is need of the money. and that is known as the financial resources. So this is the overall idea of an institute or an organization. And educational institute is also whatever today we have discussed. All these things are also required to run an educational institute. So when we are talking regarding the institute, all the institutes are categorized into different groups, such as open institute or an closed institute. So when we will tell a institute is a closed one, or when we will tell that the institute is an open one. So if each and everything is open, it means nothing the secrets is going to maintain. Nowadays, you will see every institute has a website, and everything we are going to display in our website. Suppose we want to know about a certain institute, we are going to search for the website of that institute. If you will go to see the institute, it will be written in the website regarding that institute, when it was established, what is the main goal of it, what are the work has already done by the institute, what is the main goal of the institute, who are the members are working there. So everything we can find in a website. So in that case, we can say that we are going to prefer for a open institute. But there are certain institute where there is a need to maintain the secrecy. So that type of institute is called as the closed system institute. Closed system institute means everything is going to be done, but nothing is disclosed. Okay, the secrecy is maintained to run the institute. Then we can say that institute is called as a closed system. Institute is a closed system. But mostly the educational institute are we prefer to be the open one. Okay, so open institute means if whatever the things are there, each and everything is now open. Each and everyone want to know about the institute can access all those things. Then the institute can be called as a open one. And mostly educational institutes are the open one. Suppose we will see now, we want to search regarding any foreign educational institute, any foreign university. We no need to be worry about that. If you will go and search in the online, and we will go to the website, and we can find each and everything regarding that institute. Okay, so we prefer mostly educational institutes must be the open one. And when we think regarding the institute, in that case, mostly we should analyze the institute from certain point of view, such as what is the strength of the institute, what is the weakness of the institute, what are the opportunities are there for the institute, and what is the threats are there for the institute. So the standard of an institute, the quality of an institute is going to be determined on the basis of all these analysis. Means we called it as the SWOT analysis. Means strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis. Suppose take example, there is any educational institute. Uh, every institute has its own name and fame. Okay. Suppose no need to explain about the institute. If the institute is a renowned one, is a renowned institute, then at that time we no need to go for more worry about. Suppose take example, there are many distance universities are there who are going to provide the education. But suppose we will listen the name of the IGNO, then it is no need to worry. No, any course we are going to do under the IGNO, it is has the validity is more, and it is a more reliable open university. Okay, so the name of the IGNO is so much renowned that no need to make a question mark of it. So we can say this is the strength of the institute, because already whatever the analysis has done regarding joining in the course, completion of the course, and regarding the getting a certificate, and the reliability and usability of those certificate in each and every field has no question mark. So we can say this is the strength of an institute. Okay, so like this, there is any educational institute, every institute has its own name and fame. If we will make an analysis for a long period of time, what the institute is going to be do is going to be done, and it is going to be perform in every field in such a way that only by the name of it only it is going to be renowned. Okay, so and every institute has certain strength, every institute has certain strength, and all these things must be also open for each and everyone. Every persons must be aware about the strength of an institute. Okay, and like this, what are the weakness of an institute? Suppose take every suppose we by listening the name of an institute only, we will able, no need to worry, it is a very good university, it is a very good institute, and the environment in the institute is student friendly, and the course provided by the university is very good, very qualitative, and it has more use. So like that, suppose we are going to listen all those things, we can say that these all are the strength of the institute. Like that, there are certain weakness also. uh, Weakness on the basis of the performance, if we have made the analysis, we can able to find out that no, um, uh, the certain negative things whatever is there for that institute, we can say those are called as the weakness of the institute. Like this, every institute have certain opportunities. Opportunities means what they, how they will grow in the future, what are the main possibilities are there to improve, those we can say the opportunity for the institute. Like also threats are there, these what are the challenges have to face in the future. And if we suppose take example, there is a certain university, but it is it is not accessible to reach there, it is located in a very interior and the rural area, it's very difficult to go there, then we can say it is a challenge of that institute, it is a threat for that institute. Like that, everything, any things, no doubt the institute is the renowned one, but it is the threat for that institute. So before going to know about the institute, we must make the analysis from all these 4 point of view, like strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. And on the basis of that, we are going to analyze the institute, and that is going to determine the name and fame of the institute. So each and everything, suppose we are going to talk regarding the psychosocial environment in an institute. Psychosocial environment means how the persons are going to work in the institute. Suppose by the listening the name only, we sometimes know it's a very student friendly institute, it is a very student friendly organization. Or in the negative way, we can say, suppose by listening the name only, no, in that university always there will be the students disturbance. Suppose take example of JNU. Suppose now we are talking regarding JNU, always we come to know that every year there are certain disturbance, students disturbance, interference of the students, and all those disturbance is going to occur in that university. So for in this way we are going to analyze the institute. So the social environment, the psychological condition of the students, and the culture of the environment, culture of the institute plays a very important role when we are going to analyze it. Okay, so it's a very important how we can maintain the socio-psychological culture of an institute. It depends on both the academic, non-academic, and whatever the activities are going to organize in academic year for the students, for the staffs, each and everything is going to determine the socio-psychological culture of an institute. So this is the more or less regarding what is an institute, how we can make the analysis of an institute, and how we can say that one institute is a closed one and one institute is a open one. Okay. So next we will come. What is the institutional culture? I think you all are aware regarding the word culture. You know, all of you know what is culture. I have prepared certain PPTs for you also. So I would like to share all those PPTs. Just I'm going to share my screen. Can anyone confirm me that the screen is visible to all of you or not? The screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
PPTs are visible to you. Okay. Visible? PPTs are visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So we are discussing regarding the block 2, and now I have already told to you what are the different types of an institute, how you are going to um, or determine an institute is a closed one, how an institute is an open one, how we mostly prefer the open institute, and how can make the analysis of an institute from the strength, weakness, opportunity, and from the point of view of threats. Okay, so this is going to determine the types of institute. Next we will come to the institutional culture. So I think all you know more um, aware about the word culture. Can anyone tell to me what do you understand by culture? This is a more known word to all of us. So what do you understand the word culture first? Then we will come to the institutional culture. ତମେ ମାନେ କଲଚର ମାନେ କଣ ବୁଝୁଛ ଯଦି କିଏ କହିବ ତାପରେ ଆମେ ଆସିବା ପଏଣ୍ଟ କୁ ଯେ what is institutional culture? କହିବ କିଏ? କିଏ କିଛି କହିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁନ? ଜାଣିନ କଲଚର ମାନେ କଣ? କିଏ କିଛି ଜାଣିନ? ସମସ୍ତେ ଜାଣିଛ କିନ୍ତୁ ବୋଧେ କହିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁନ। Okay, culture means the certain trends, the certain habits, certain way of doing the work is going to retain for a long period of time, then it is going to convert as a culture. Either it may be the for a society, or it may be for an organization, or for an institution. So certain way of doing the work, okay, and for a long period of time, if we are going to do it in the same way, then it is going to convert in terms of our habits, and we, after a certain time, we used to call it as a culture. Okay, so like that, every institute has its own culture. Okay, and that culture is going to determine the self image of an institute. Okay, so what are the certain things we are going to do in a particular time, in a particular way, and what is going to make us something different from others? Okay, that we are going to call as the culture of an institute. Suppose take example, there are certain universities, they always used to do the examination in time. Okay, so that is the self image of an institute. Whenever we listen the name of that institute, when we are going to decide whether we will join in that institute, then that thing always come to our mind. No, if I will join in that institute in any course, definitely I will complete my course in time. Okay, so that is the self image, because that institute, that university, or that organization is always going to conduct the examinations in time, and also going to publish the results also in time. So in time I will complete my course, and I also can get my certificate. So if that is the culture and publication of the result in time, that is going to determine the self image of the institute. In the same way, the negative things also is also going to determine your self image. So culture means whatever the things, whether it is academic, non academic, whether it is the student teacher relationship, or it is the climate or the environment, what are the opportunities, everything what is going to be occur in the similar way for a long period of time, it is going to determine as a permanent habit, permanent behavior of that institute, and that is going to determine the culture of the institute, and that is going to influence the self image also of the institutes. Okay, so everything, whether it may be related to tradition, or it may related to values, or related to rituals or routine works, or whatever may be the things, if it is going to occur for a long period of time, in the same way it is going to determine the culture of that particular institute. Mostly when we talk regarding the institutional culture, we give importance on the positive things, means positive values, positive traditions, and good traditions, good rituals. So all the what the positive things is going to be occur, what the good things are going to be occur, it is going to impact the image of the institute. Understand all of you? What do you mean by institutional culture?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next we will move to organizational climate. What do you mean by organizational climate? Till now we have discussed what is an institute, what is an organization. The next we will come, what is an organizational climate? Climate means, here anything related to the environment is called as the climate. But here also, exactly same thing regarding the environment of an organization. Okay, that is going to determine the organizational climate. So here environment means not only the physical environment, but here we can take into consideration the other environment also. But the physical environment is also one of the part of the organizational climate, but like that some other things also added here, as like the social environment or the social climate, or we can say the um, psychological environment, or we can say the cultural environment. So everything, each and every aspect all together is going to determine the climate of an organization. So here the word climate is not only related to the physical environment, but it is more broad, or it has more scope than the physical climate. It means it is going to cover all other aspects also. Okay, so here I have just mentioned for you that climate is a short-term phenomena created by the current leadership. So when we are talking regarding the organizational climate, then organizational climate is mostly influenced by the leadership quality. Okay, so what is leadership quality? Who is going to perform those leadership quality? So it must depends on the authority of the institute or the authority of the organization. What type of leadership quality is going to prevail in an organization, in an institute, is depends on the authority of the institute. As we know, when there is an organization, definitely there will be one authority. Suppose it is an college, there must be a principal. So when it is a university, there must be a vice chancellor. Okay, like many other administrators also must be there to perform the different type of the works, as like the register, or we can say the dean, or the heads for the different departments, or like the administrative officers. Many persons will be there. So all these things is going to determine the climate of an organization. So climate is a certain phenomena which is mostly influenced by the current leadership quality. Okay, and it is going to determine on the basis of the perception of an individual about the institution. Organizational climate means how each and every individual is going to perceive the certain organization in the particular way. That is going to determine the organizational climate. Okay, it is related to the management style of the leader. Okay, how, as I already told, if there is change in the leader, definitely there will be the change in the organizational climate, because we know there are the different type of leadership quality. As for example, there will be a democratic leader, or there will be an autocratic leader, or the, we can say, the decentralized, the power is going to be decentralized. Sometimes the leadership quality is that it is going to be decentralized. No one, the authority is not going to feel that I am only the all in all of the institute, but the power is distributed among the different individuals, and the work is assigned to the different individuals. Every individual feels free to do their work in a decentralized system of leadership. So in this way, what are the main leadership quality? On the basis of that, the climate of an organization is going to depend. Okay, so that on the basis of the leadership quality, we can say the organizational climate is going to be determined. So now you understand what is an institute, what is an organization, what is organizational climate, what is organizational culture, okay, and how we can say that an institute is an open institute, how an institute can be a closed institute, and how the leadership quality is going to influence both the culture and climate of an organization. Till now, what we have discussed, If you are not able to understand, you can put your question. If you will interact, then will be interesting to teach to all of you. And one-sided, if you all will be mute and only will listen, then the class will not be interesting. Okay? Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So next we will discuss regarding sign of healthy culture of an institute. Okay. Sorry, of an, it is A, it is wrongly, it is typed here. So sign of a healthy culture of an institute. So how we can say that the culture of the institute is healthy? From which point of view we have to determine the culture of an institute? Okay. So these are the certain points I have mentioned in this PPT. PPT is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So here I have mentioned certain points to determine the climate or culture is healthy or not. So for that purpose, we have to decide from all these point of view as like tangible support. Whether in a culture the students are able to get the support from the different authorities or from the different heads or not. Okay. Or the supportive climate is evolving in the inside the organization or not. Okay, that is going to determine whether the healthy culture is there or not. Whenever it is that the students or the staffs or the persons who are going to work in that institute also are able to get the support from the right authority or not. Okay, if it is there, then we can say that yes, the environment of the institute or the culture of the institute is very healthy. Okay, so support must be there among the different individuals to conduct the work. Then it is a sign of an healthy environment. Like this, trust of confidence. Okay, each and every one must feel confident to do their work. There must not be fear. Okay, there must not be frightened. It means before going to do the work, every individual must feel confident to speak, to do the work, and they must have the trust on others, so that it is a symptom of a healthy climate. Like high expectations, it means when the individuals are going to do the work, they must be able to fix their expectations in high, and they must work confidently to meet their expectation. Then we can say it is also a symptom of the healthy climate. Not only it must the all the students must feel the open to do their work. They must able to disclose themselves. They must able to get the chance to reveal, and there must not be any fear. They must not be restricted by others. Something must not be imposed on them. They must feel to express. They must able to do their own experiment. They must be encouraged to do the research or the experimentation. Nothing, any knowledge or anything is must not be imposed on them. They must feel free to ask, or anything wrong is also has done by the students, they must be accepted. That they must not be criticized, or the fear must not be created among them. You do not know anything, you are not eligible for that. We must not make them to feel low. Okay, so every individual, if they are going to work in such an environment, then that environment is called as a healthy environment, a healthy culture, healthy climate. Okay, there must be care among each and every member. Each and every member must feel honest and open for communication. And every individual, as already I told to you, whenever there is any decision making, they must feel that each and every individual of an organization play a very important role. They must feel themselves that I am an important individual for my organization. Everyone must get a space for the decision making. They must get a space to communicate. No one must feel that neglected. Okay, everyone must have the right to express their views. They must be accept whatever the things is going to take. There must not be the rejection, must not be there by the authority. they must feel free to express, they must be accepted, so that we can say there is a healthy environment, healthy culture. Sometimes we will feel that mostly the climate and culture of an organization is autocratic. It means whatever the principal will say, that is only the final. No other one has the rights to speak anything, whether the academic staffs or the students, they are also, they will feel neglected, and they have no rights, no space to speak something. Then we can say this is not a healthy climate of an organization. Okay, so everyone must get a space to speak, to express themselves. They must be accepted. Whatever is going to be told by them or going to be done by them must be accepted by them. They must not be only from judgmental. There must not be always the judgmental views. Okay, then we can say that every individual who are working under that in that organization or an institute are able to be accepted by all. Then it is a really very good or the good symptom of an healthy culture or healthy climate of an institute or organization. So we expect whenever we are talking regarding the healthy culture, all these are the points I have mentioned in this PPT. We are going to expect all these things, okay, from an institute. Next, still now whatever we have discussed, everything is going to determine on the basis of the leadership quality. What, how a leader, because we know leader of an institute or organization plays a very important role. And on the basis of the leader only, the institute is going to be run. So leader plays a very important role, and the role of the leader is going to determine the climate, the culture, and the each and everything of the organization is mostly influenced by the leader. So before going to that, we must know that what is leadership, what how the leadership must be, how a leader must be, what must be the leadership quality, what are the qualities are must required to be a leader. Okay, we will discuss regarding what is leadership. You all know what is a leader, because from the childhood onwards, when you used to play also in a game, we used to find out our leader. So can anyone tell to me what is a leader, how you feel what is a leader, what is your own opinion about a leader?
Ma'am, leadership guiding a team or individual achievement, a central goal through direction or motivation.
Okay, very good. Okay, we know that leader means definitely it must be a person. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. A leader means an individual, a person. Okay. Who is, wherever, without a team, can there be a leader? No. So whenever there is a leader means definitely in the back there is a team. Yes or no? If team is not there, then what is the need of a leader? No. So definitely when we are talking regarding the word leader means, we know that there are certain group of individuals who are working in a team. Yes, then only we think about a leader, because to lead a team, there is need of a certain individuals who is called as a leader. Yes, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we know that to run an institute also, an institute cannot be run by a single individual. Okay. What type of institute it may be, whether it may be educational institute or a financial institute, or it is a family, or it is a state, or it is a government, or whatever may be. Okay. Everywhere a single individual cannot run an institute or an organization. There is need of the cooperation and help of the different type of individuals to do the work. And that group of individuals are called as a team. Yes. And when there is a team, we think about a leader, because a team cannot proceed without a leader, because there is need of an individual who can motivate each and every team member to work uh, uh, in a positive way, in a perfect manner, to achieve the goals and objectives. So whenever we are talking regarding a leadership means, two things is coming to our mind. Leadership is required when there is a team. So team must be there. Then we think about a leader. A leader is no one else, is an individual, a person. Okay. And the leader means not only in the namesake a individual who is having the power can be called as a leader. No, for the to be a leader there are need of certain qualities, then only a person can be called as a leader. Okay, and for that, and whatever the work is going to be done by the leader, that is called as the leadership. Okay, so for leadership there is need of certain qualities. Everyone cannot be in the namesake, there may be many leaders, but all leaders are not the good leaders. Okay, to be a good leader or to be a real leader, there is need of the good leadership quality, and that leadership quality is going to influence by certain factors. So what is real required to be a good leader? Okay, different type of leadership qualities are there, as already I have mentioned here: authoritarian, participative, laissez-faire. Can anyone tell to me, are you able to understand all these three words, the meaning of these three words? What is authoritarian? What is participative? What is laissez-faire? No? Okay, I'm going to tell. Authoritarian means a leader who decide each and everything himself or herself, okay, without considering the views of the others. Then we can say that leader is a authoritarian leader. It means all the power is concentrated in the hand of a particular person who is called as a leader. Okay, the person is not going to listen or not going to accept anything from others. Then that type of leadership quality is going to called as a authoritarian leader. But there are certain leaders who are not able to going to decide each and everything, but they want to involve each and every individual in their work, and they need the participation of each and every individual, and they do not feel as a leader. They used to, whenever there is a work, as a participants they used to involve in the work and used to go to do the work with the all his with co um, workers. Okay, then that type of leadership quality is called as the participative leadership quality. And another is the laissez-faire. Laissez-faire means where there is no restriction and more importance is given on the freedom. Okay, freedom means it is different from participative. In the participative, the leader is going to participate directly and is going to not the 100% freedom has given. But in laissez-faire, the leader has given all the freedom and all the um, um, mm, uh, way of doing the work on the co-workers. It means freedom has mostly emphasized, and the leader is going to accept what others are going to be do it. So on the basis of that, it is called as the laissez-faire, where more importance is given on the freedom. So on the basis of it, we are going to decide the style of leadership as the authoritarian, participative, and laissez-faire. Okay, and so now you understand what is a leader, what is leadership, and what are the styles of leadership. Yes. So sometimes we used to get confused among the words like leadership, management, and planning. Can anyone tell to me all the things are same? What is planning, what is management, and what is leadership? All the three things are differ from each other, or all are having the same meaning?
I think same.
Same. Okay. Can anyone else? ଆଉ କିଏ କହିବ? ଏକା ନା ଅଲଗା? No, all the three things has the different objectives. Okay, planning. Planning means an agenda. Okay, the way how we will do the work, for that there is need or to do a certain um, things in a proper manner. That is called as planning. And planning is going to do by a leader, or we can say by a group of the members who are called as the management. Okay, there is a team to run the institute, that is called as management, and there is a head who is going to lead the team, that is called as a leader. Okay, understand now? Planning is the work done strategy of the management is called as the planning. So planning is a part of management used to going to do the many things more than planning, and planning is just one work is going to do by the management. Understand now what I'm going to
Yes,
tell?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. When there is an institute, when there is an organization, definitely there will be a team how to do the work for that purpose. That is called as management. Okay. A group of members who are involved to prepare the planning and to make the strategy how to make the best utilize of the resources. That is called as the management. And that management never means a single member. There is a group of member, a team of work, a team of members who are going to decide each and everything about that institute and organization, how to make the planning, how to make the best utilization of the resources, and how to run an institute and organization. That is called as the management. But planning is just only one of the work of the management. Okay, they used to do the plan means what? On the basis of the availability of the all resources like financial resources, human resources, and material resources, and by keeping in view the goals and objectives what we have to achieve, we make the strategy. Okay, we have these goals and objectives we have to achieve, and these are the resources available with us. So how we can make the best utilization of the resources to achieve our objectives and the goals. For that purpose there is need of a strategy. Okay, and that strategy is called as a planning. Okay, now you understand what is management, what is planning. The
Yes,
next
ma'am.
is a leader. Yes, leader means, as I already told, there is a management and group of members are going to do the work. And to lead that team, to lead the management, there is need of an powerful member who can manage everything and who can do the planning, and on the basis of which all will work, and that is called as a leader. Okay, who lead the team, who lead the management, so that is called as a leader. Okay, so everything, whether the management and planning, each and everything is going to depend on the leader. If leader will change, definitely there will be the change in the management, and there will be the change in the planning. So leader plays a very important role for an institute, for an organization. At everywhere, whether it is a country, suppose take example, our prime minister is our leader. As like for a state, the chief minister is the leader. As like for an university, the vice chancellor is a leader. Okay, so for an college, there is an principal. So when there is a change in the leader, definitely we can find there is change in planning, there is change in management, each and everything will be changed. So leader plays a very important role for an organization or for an institute. Okay, so now you understand what is management, what is planning, what is leader, and what are the different styles of leadership: authoritarian, participative, and laissez-faire. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Next we will come, and next we will come need of leadership. Why there is need of a leader for an organization? Without leader we cannot run an institute or not? Okay, no, definitely not. For every institute, for every organization, there is need of a leader. So the points here mentioned why we need a leader is to know about the goal of the organization, to aware about the need of the students, to communicate more with parents, to integrate technology into instruction, to collaborate with colleagues, to improve, sorry, colleges, to collaborate, sorry, to collaborate with colleges, to improve the assessment process, to participate in the team, to participate in decision making. So these are the different things on the basis of, for which, on the basis of which we need the leadership. These all of the works is going to do by a leader. So definitely there is need of leadership to organize all these works. Okay, so again, one by one, we will discuss all these points. So I'm coming from down. To participate in the decision making. Okay, No doubt, it is the role of the leader to take the decision, but the leader only cannot will take the decision. At the time of taking the decision, there is need to take to consider the views of the other members also. Okay, so that is, for that purpose there is need of leadership to participate in the decision making process. So to listen to others, to give respect to the views of the others, and at last, what is really essential for the benefit of the organization, on the basis of which to take the decision, is the main need of leadership. Okay, like to participate in the team. Leadership not only it means to give the order. Leadership means not only to give the order to others to do the work. No, that cannot be called as a real leader. A real leader is who has given the order to do the work and have done the work by participating with the team, has given the order to the team to do the work, and himself and herself also involved in the team and have done the work with the co-workers. Then it can be called as a near real leadership. Okay, like to improve the assessment process, as we are talking here regarding the educational institute. So leadership is required to bring the refinement in each and every aspect. Okay, so when we are talking regarding an educational institute, we mostly give focus on the academic things. It means how the class are going on, what is going to be taught, whether the classes are going to be organized in proper manner or not, or what is the quality of the class. Okay, and how the examination is going to be run, how the assessment process is going to be run, and how what is the discipline of the organization, how the other members feel free to do in the organization. So these are the certain areas on the basis of which a educational institute is going to be run, and assessment plays a very important role for an educational institute. So there is need of leadership to bring the change in the assessment process. Not as an educational institute, it is not our only work to work with us, but it is also we have to collaborate with other colleges, with other organizations. So that is also the need of the, for that also there is need of the leadership also. Whatever the other colleges are there in our surroundings, how we can make the linkage between them, and how we can share our resources with them, and how we can work for the benefit of our students, to by making the collaboration with others. Then it is called, it is also a quality of leadership or the need of leadership. And like that, as we know nowadays, we give more importance on the technology, to integrate technology in our classroom, or to our assessment process, or for the other areas where we are going to work. So for that purpose also there is need of leadership, to communicate both with the parents and also with the students. There is need of leadership. So these are the areas for which there is need of the leadership for an educational institute. So till now you are able to understand what is leadership, what is the need of leadership, what is management, what is planning. Unit, I think so.
Yes, sir.
We have completed now one unit. Unit 5 we have completed, and mm, we will come to unit 6. Okay. No, sorry. Unit 5 will complete. After we will discuss regarding the concept of power. Okay. After that, we will complete this unit. So can anyone tell to me what is power? Power कौन, leadership कौन, एका कथा ना दिटा जाक अलगा? ये कहिबो पावर कौन? अरे किए कहिबो ना जिबा डिस्कशन करिबा? ओके. Power or leader. Power is a capacity to do the work. Is called as a power. Okay. And leader is an individual. Leader is a individual. A person is called as a leader. So what is the capacity is there with the leader to do the work, that is called as power. Understand? Bujhiparlo?
Yes, ma'am.
Leader is an individual who is having certain capacity for doing the work, and that is called as the power of the leader. Understand? So we can say power is a verb and that leader is a subject or a person, individual. Okay. So power is the capacity of doing a work, or we can say it is derived from position. Who have the power? Definitely a leader, or it is derived on the basis of the position. Who are having the mostly the power? Who is the authority? The person has the power. Who are the leaders? They have certain powers. Okay. So on the basis of the position, we are going to determine the power of an individual. Suppose a person is there in the position of a authority, so definitely that person has certain power. Okay. And same person, if it is not there in that position, it is not having certain power. Suppose an individual today is there as a leader, the person has the power. But in the if the same person is not there in the same position, then the same individual is not having the power. So power is the work or the capacity which is going to determine on the basis of a position. So position is going to determine the power. ବୁଝିପାରୁଥିବ ଭଲ ଭାବେ ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି। ଓକେ, ସପୋଜ ଆଜି
Okay.
ଯାହାର ପାୱାର ଅଛି କାଲିକି ତାର ପାୱାର ନାହିଁ, କାହିଁକି ନା ସେମ୍ ପୋଜିସନ ନାହିଁ। So position is going to determine the power. So what are the basis of power? So ପାୱାର ଯେ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କହୁଛେ ଆମର କୋଉ ବେସରେ ଆମେ ଡିଟରମାଇନ କରୁଛେ କୋଉ ପ୍ରକାର ପାୱାର ଅଛି। ଯେମିତି ଯଦି ଆମର ପୋଜିସନ ଅନୁସାରେ ଯଦି ପାୱାର, ଆମେ ସେ ପାୱାରଟାକୁ କହୁଛେ ଯେ ଲେଜିଟିମେଟ ପାୱାର। If on the basis of the position we are getting the power, then it is called as the legitimate power. Okay. Suppose principal, today I am the principal, I have the power, but tomorrow if I am not there in that post, I am not having those power. So that power is called as legitimate power. Like that, on coercive power, that is on the basis of the threat of sanctions. Threat of sanctions means if something has sanctioned to me, on the basis of it I am having the power. Okay. Otherwise I am not having that power. If that sanctions are not there for me, then I am not having that power. That is called as the coercive power. Like this, there is अरे देखा जाଉଛି ପିଟି ଦେଖା ଯାଉଛି?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଦେଖା ଯାଉଛି ତ? ଆରେ ପିପିଟି ତମ
ଦେଖାଯାଉ।
Yes, ma'am.
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଠିକ ଅଛି, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖା ଯାଉଛି ତ? କିଏ ଗୋଟେ ନାଇଁ କରୁଛ କଣ?
Yes, ma'am.
ଆଚ୍ଛା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖା ଯାଉଛି, ଠିକ ଅଛି। ତ ଦେଖ ଏଇଠି ଆମର ହଉଛି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହଉଛି ରିୱାର୍ଡ। Power on the basis of the praise and promotions it will get, that is called as the reward. That is also a power. Like expert, when you are an expert, that is not on the basis of the position, that is on the basis of your own skill and knowledge. When an individual is having certain skill, certain knowledge, then also the individual has certain power, and that is called as the expert power. And like this, when there is referent power, means power of some person's personal trait, on the basis of certain personal trait ମାନେ ବୁଝିପାରୁଥିବ, ଯେମିତି ଆମର personality is going to determine on the basis of the certain trait, and on the basis of it a individual is getting the power, then it is called as the referent power. So there are certain bases on the basis of which we are going to provide the power for the different individuals, and that is called as the legitimate, coercive, reward, expert and referent.
Ma'am, देखा जाऊनी visible.
এটা ସମସ୍ତେ ବୁଝିପାରିଲ? ଏଟା ଯାହା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କହିଲି, what are the different bases of power? ଦେଖାଯାଉନି? ପିପିଟି ଦେଖାଯାଉନି? କାହାକୁ ବି ଦେଖାଯାଉନି?
No, ma'am.
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ନା ତମର କିଛି
ନିଡ୍
ଇସ୍ୟୁ
ଅଫ୍
ଥିବ,
ଲିଡରସିପ୍
ଜଣକୁ
ସେତେବେଳେ
ଦେଖାଯାଉନି
ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି।
ମାନେ need of leadership এই concept of power ଦେଖାଯାଉନି?
Madam, खाली need of leadership ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ଆଉ କିଛି ନାହିଁ।
No, ma'am.
ନା ନା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଠିକ ଅଛି ଠିକ ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ ୱେଟ୍ କର ମୁଁ ଆଉ ଥରେ ପାୱାର ମାନେ ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ସେଟଟା ଖୋଲି ଆଉ ଥରେ ଦେଖାଉଛି 1 second wait for 1 second ଏବେ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି
Yes, ma'am.
ଏବେ ଦେଖାଗଲା
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଓକେ ଏ ସ୍ଲାଇଡ ଟା ଦେଖ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଅଫ ପାୱାର ଯୋଉଟା ମୁଁ ଏବେ କହୁଥିଲି ଏଇଟା ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ସମସ୍ତେ what is concept of power
Again.
how the power is going to determine on the different base those base are legitimate coercive reward export and referent ଏଇଟା ଦେଖାଗଲା ଏଥର
ୟେସ୍
so
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
we are going to determine the legitimate power on the basis of position coercive power on the basis of sanction and reward on the basis of praise or promotion, expertise on the basis of knowledge and skill, and referent on the basis of some personal trait. Okay, so these are the concept of power on the basis of which we are going to determine the power for the different base. Next, we will move to development of learning organization. How we can develop a learning organization. Okay, as we know, educational institute must be a learning organization. Mostly we are going to talk regarding that teaching organization. But educational institute is not only a teaching organization. When we are giving focus on the word teaching, we are giving more focus on the persons who are going to teach. But educational institute is important from the point of view of the students who are going to learn from that institute. So we mostly going to tell the educational institute must be a learning organization, not only a teaching organization. Okay. So I'm going to teach, but if you are not going to learn anything, then that teaching has no value. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
One way I am going to teach what I know. I am going to teach, but if my teaching has no impact on you and you are not going to learn anything from that teaching, then that teaching has no value. It's like this: if you are going to tell an institute or organization as a teaching organization, we are giving only focus on what is the work is going to be done by the teachers, but we have never considered what the students have learned from that organization. That's why we must call a educational institute as a learning organization. We must evaluate a educational institute from the point of view how the students are getting benefit out of it, what they are going to learn. Then only it can be called as a real educational institute. So how we can develop a educational institute into a learning organization? Okay, how each and every students must feel free to learn from that organization and how every students will get the maximum benefit from that organization. The, for that purpose, we have to develop a educational institute into a learning organization. So for that, we have to focus on certain things. If you want to develop a educational institute into a learning organization, we have to focus on certain things. What is that? First is appreciation for learning.
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କିଛି
Okay,
ଦେଖାଯାଉନି ଭିଜିବୁଲ୍।
ଦେଖାଯାଉନି?
ନା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଆରେ କାହାକୁ ବି ଦେଖାଯାଉନି?
No, ma'am.
Oh
ନାଇଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍
no.
ଦେଖାହଉନି କିଛି ବି।
Okay, wait. Again, I'm going to do. Now you tell. ଏବେ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି?
Yes, ma'am.
ଏବେ ଦେଖାଗଲା?
Yes, ma'am.
କୋଉଟା ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି
ୟେସ୍
କହିଲ ମତେ? କଣ କହିଲ ପଢିଲ? କୋଉ ସ୍ଲାଇଡ୍ ଟା ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି?
Development of learning organization.
Okay, good. ठीक ଅଛି ହେଲା? So we are discussing regarding how a educational institute we will develop into a learning organization. So for that purpose, we have to give more focus on learning than teaching. We are not going to focus only on the teaching of the teachers, but we must I am going to teach, but whether my students are going to learn or not, whether they are able to learn or not, and each and every individual is important in the process of learning. If I am going to teach and only one or two are going to learn and all other are neglected, then it is never called as a good learning organization. We must give importance to each and every learner, and we must provide a scope to each and every learner to learn. Then only it can be called as a learning organization. And whatever is going to learn, we in time we have to assess whether they are learning in a proper way or not, whether they are learning the positive things or positivity or not, and what is the impact of that learning on those individuals. We have to assess all those things. Then only it can develop to a learning organizations. And we must provide the equal opportunity for each and every individual in the process of learning. Suppose when we will come to discuss with the classroom environment, at that time we will speak. You must know that in the class, suppose 30 students are there. The teacher is going to focus only on one or two students. If one or two students are going to answer and the teacher is going to teach in his own way, then it also cannot be called as a good learning environment. Every individual must be focused in the learning. Whoever are present in the learning environment, they must feel focused. Okay, no one feel neglect in the learning environment, and everyone must get the equal opportunity. Okay, if someone is going to study well, the teacher is going to focus on that individual. If one person or one child is not there to learn in the same way what others are going to, we are going to neglect it, then it cannot be called as a good learning environment. Okay, each and every individual must get the equal opportunity to learn. Okay, so we must focus on each and every individual. Okay, and in the learning environment, a good symptom is that that learning must not be only one sided. Whatever the teacher will tell, that is not only the correct. If anything, there must be the question from the students. When the students will get the question, if the students is involved in the teaching learning process. Suppose you are now, I am going to tell and you are only listening. So we cannot assure that really you are going to learn. Suppose you will listen, you will analyze it within yourself. If anything wrong I have already told, then also you have the rights to ask me, no, it is wrong, it is right. And we can make a conversation on it. And we can, if sometimes the teacher also can do the mistake. So there must be a good conversation, good discussion, and after that we can reach to the conclusion. Then only it can be called as a good learning process. So we must promote each and every individual to involve in the learning process. We encourage them to speak, to disclose, or whatever is there in the mind. Sometimes the students will fear, even though they feel that they are true and they are correct. Sometimes they feel fear to express. Okay, so it cannot be called as a good learning environment. So learning can be assured when both teacher and students are equally participating in the communication, in the discussion, and they feel free to express themselves, and they feel free to do the experiment, and they are able to do the things on the basis of their own experience. Then it can be called as a good learning environment. Whatever the theory things is there, I'm going to tell and you have to accept, and without any analyzing, without any synthesize, then also it cannot be called as a good learning environment. So all these things are must required to develop a educational institute into a learning organization. Understand? ଏବେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯାହା ଡିସ୍କସନ କଲେ ଟିକେ ବୁଝିପାରିଲ କିଛି ବି? What is an learning organization? How we can develop? Okay. So
Okay.
next we will move to types of decision making. How the different, already we have discussed regarding the decision making. Decision making is one of the power of the leader. Decision making power is assigned to the leader, and that can be also two types, like centralized and decentralized. What is centralized? If the leader is taking all the decision himself and herself without taking the opinion of the others, then it is called as a centralized process. Okay, but when we can, the opposite, just opposite of the centralized is the decentralized. Yes, So what is decentralized process means? When each and every individual is involved, of an organization, of an institute is involved to take the decision, or they have the rights to give their opinion. They may not take the decision. All individuals can never will be take the decision, but the leader have considered the views of the others at the time of taking the decision, and have given the equal chance of to all to participate in the decision making process. Then it is called as a decentralized decision making. And mostly there are the two types of, or the two styles of decision making, which is called as centralized and decentralized. Which one you feel the good one, centralized or decentralized? କୋଉଟା ତମେ ମାନେ ଭାବୁଛ ଯେ ଏଟା ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ decision making process, centralized or decentralized? Okay,
Centralization.
centralized is the good decision making process. Can anyone tell others?
Yes, ma'am.
No, decentralized process is the best decision making process. Decentralized means what? We have given the chance to others also to involve in the decision making process. It means each and every individual is involved in the process of taking the decision. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So decentralized is the good process of decision making. So here we have completed your unit 5. Next we will move to unit 6, which is regarding the classroom management, or classroom environment and classroom management. Yes. So you all know what is classroom. Yes. So what is classroom environment? When we are talking regarding the classroom environment, whatever the main things will come to our mind. ତମ ମାନଙ୍କ ମନକୁ କଣ ଆସୁଛି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କ୍ଲାସରୁମ ବୋଲି ଗୋଟେ କଥା ଆମ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରୁଛେ, ତମ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ କୁ କଣ ଆସୁଛି? What is a classroom? Okay, କିଏ କହିବ?
Ma'am, a classroom is which is class pupils or students to taught.
କଣ କହିଲେ ରେ? ଟିକେ ଅଡିବୁଲ ହେଲାନି ଟିକେ। କଣ କହିଲ? ଟିକେ ଅଡିବୁଲ ହେଲାନି।
Ma'am, a room in which a class of pupils or
ହଁ,
student in taught.
yes. କ୍ଲାସରୁମ ମାନେ ତମେ ଭାବିଲ ଯେ ଗୋଟେ ଟିଚର ନିହାତି ଥିବେ, ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ମାନେ ନିହାତି ଥିବେ। ଓକେ,
Yes, ma'am.
ଠିକ ଅଛି। Then here we are talking regarding the human beings. Okay, କିନ୍ତୁ ତା ସହିତ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲାସରୁମ ପାଇଁ ଆଉ କଣ ଦରକାର? ଗୋଟେ ରୁମ ଥିବା ଦରକାର, ଗୋଟେ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ପ୍ଲେସ ଥିବା ଦରକାର। କ୍ଲାସରୁମ ମାନେ କଣ? ଗୋଟେ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଜାଗା ଯୋଉଠି କି ଟିଚର ଆଉ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଆସେମ୍ବଲ ହୁଅନ୍ତି, ହଁ କି ନାହିଁ? ଗୋଟେ ରୁମ ହେଇଥାଇପାରେ, କିମ୍ବା କିଛି ବାହାର ଜାଗା ହେଇଥାଇପାରେ ଯୋଉଠି କି ଆମକୁ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଆଉ ଟିଚର ଇଣ୍ଟରାକ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ଫିଜିକାଲ କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ ର ବି ଦରକାର ଅଛି କି ନାହିଁ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So it may be a room, or it may be a garden, or anything else. Can be where a place where the teacher and students interact with each other. Okay. So that can be called as a classroom. So classroom means there must be a physical environment, and two individuals are required. One is the teacher and other are the students. Okay. So when we are talking regarding the classroom environment, there are certain ethics, there are certain rules how a classroom must be. Okay. In our educational setup, there are certain ethics, ସେଠି କିଛି ନିୟମ ଅଛି ଯେ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲାସରୁମ କେମିତି ହବା ଦରକାର, ହେଲା? ତ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ କଣ ନା ତାର ଗୋଟେ ଫିଜିକାଲ କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ ରହିବା ଦରକାର, କ୍ଲାସରୁମ ର ଗୋଟେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ରହିବା ଦରକାର। ସୋ ସେ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଅଫ ଭ୍ୟୁ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା, ପ୍ରଥମେ ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା what must be the physical climate for the classroom. So physical climate ମାନେ କଣ କହୁଛି? ଯେ a particular place, ଆମେ ଯଦି କହିବା ଆମର ମୋଷ୍ଟଲି ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କହୁଛେ ଗୋଟେ ରୁମ କଥା କହୁଛେ, a well ventilated room, there must be ମାନେ ସେଟେ ଲାଇଟ୍ ଆସୁଥିବ, ସେଟେ ଭଲ ଅକ୍ସିଜେନ ଥିବ, ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଭଲ ସିଟିଂ ଆରେଞ୍ଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଥିବ, ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ particular ସ୍ପେସ୍ ଥିବ ବସିବା ପାଇଁ, ଭଲ ଭେଣ୍ଟିଲେସନ ଥିବ, then ଆମେ ଯଦି କହିବା ଯେ I am going to teach very well to you, but the physical climate of the class is not good, can my teaching will be successful?
No, ma'am.
No. So here we are not talking regarding the blended class. ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହିବା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମର ବି ଏଠି ବି କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଚାଲିଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମର ଏଠି physical climate class ନାହିଁ, ତମ ମାନେ ତମ ଘରେ ଅଛ, ମୁଁ ମୋ ଘରେ ଅଛି, but when we are talking regarding a offline class, okay, when there is a face to face interaction between the student and teacher, so at that time there is need of a good physical climate to conduct the class. And good physical climate means we mostly give importance to the sitting arrangement, lightening of the class, space, ventilation, all these are called as the physical climate of the class. Okay, we have to take into consideration, because and also disturbance. If suppose a class is well ventilated, the teacher is going to tell very nicely, it's going to teach very nicely, but there is a disturbance, always disturbance. Some bad smells are coming, some loud noise is there outside of the classroom. So these are also the variables is going to influence the class. So when we are talking regarding the class, we have to take most care about our physical climate. Then only the teaching learning process can be successful. Okay. So that is the physical climate of the class. Then next we will come to the classroom management or control. Okay. How we will manage a class. What do you mean by manage, classroom management or control, classroom control? ଗୋଟେ classroom को control କରିବା ଦରକାର?
Yes, ma'am.
ଗୋଟେ classroom को ଆମେ manage କରିବା ଦରକାର ନା control କରିବା ଦରକାର? କୋଉଟା
Ma'am,
appropriate ଲାଗୁଛି?
ma'am, we should
Ma'am,
manage the classroom, not control.
Yes. When we are talking regarding control, the word control give more focus on teacher and less opportunity to the students. Okay. We are not
Yes,
there
ma'am.
as a teacher to control our students, but as a teacher, we have to manage. Okay. Because we
Yes,
know
ma'am.
there more than one individuals are there. So as a teacher, we have to manage different things. What we have to manage? So we never focus on control of the class. We have to focus on manage the class. So what as a teacher, what I have to manage? First thing is that I have to manage the time. Time management ଆମକୁ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ମତେ ମାନେ ଆମେ ଏବେ ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହିବା ଯେ ଆମକୁ ଆଜି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ 2 hours ର ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବାର ଅଛି। ଯଦି ମୁଁ ଆମେ ଯଦି କେବଳ ଗୋଟିଏ only one topic ରେ ମୁଁ କେବଳ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବି, other topics I will neglect, then it is that I am unable to manage the time. Yes or no? If
Yes,
I will
ma'am.
focus only one thing, one concept, and 2 hours will be passed and we are unable to complete all others, or we are unable to discuss about the other topics, then it is a lack of time management. So as a teacher, you have to manage your time, and that is the very essential for good classroom management. Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
other things what we have to manage, one factor is the time we have to manage. Like it, what other things we have to manage?
Ma'am, discipline in the classroom.
Yes, we have to manage. Now, discipline also, when we are going to talk regarding the word discipline, it is also give focus on we are going to restrict. No, we are,
No, ma'am.
as a teacher, we have to manage the participation of each and every child. Suppose one child is there in the class, is going to participate every time, but others are neglected in the class. At that time, I have to manage the participation of each and every child. Yes or no? I have to assure the participation. ଗୋଟେ ଯଦି ଗୋଟିଏ ପିଲା ହିଁ ସବୁବେଳେ involve କରୁଛି, ଗୋଟିଏ ପିଲା ହିଁ class କୁ dominate କରୁଛି, as a teacher, your work is to manage the participation of all other. You have to motivate the others also to participate in the class, not only a
Yes,
single
ma'am.
child. Yes, so that you
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
manage. You have to manage the involvement of or participation of each and every child in the class. You all, as a teacher, you always must try how more and more students must be interactive in your class. Okay, So that is a
Yes,
good
ma'am.
classroom management skill. Okay.
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
this, what other things we have to manage? We have to manage the teaching learning materials. As we know, we are going to use different materials for the teaching learning process. Yes or no?
Yes,
ଆମେ
Yes, ma'am.
ପଢେଇଲା ବେଳେ as a teacher we are going to use the different teaching learning material, and those materials also we must manage. ଆମକୁ ସେଟାକୁ properly handle କରିବା ଦରକାର, ତାକୁ properly ଦେଖେଇବା ଦରକାର, ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯେମିତି ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ପିଲା ଦେଖିପାରିବେ, ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ପିଲା ସେଟାକୁ ମନେକର କିଛି ଗୋଟେ experiment କରୁଛେ, then each and every child must involve in that experimental process, not only who are sitting in the front bench. Okay, each and every child, and we must not destroy the materials also. We must know ଏବେ କ୍ଲାସ ରେ ମୁଁ ପଢେଇଲେ ଆଉ ଥରେ ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ଲାସ ରେ ପଢେଇଲା ବେଳେ ବି ଏ ମେଟେରିଆଲ ଟା ମୋର କେମିତି କାମରେ ଆସିବ. Okay, we must know
Yes,
the
ma'am.
proper management of the material resources. Okay, so there are the different manage. So we first thing is that when it is a classroom we must focus on manage, not on control. Second thing, we must know how to manage the time. We must know how to manage the resources. We must know how to manage the participation of each and every child. These three things we have to assure. Understand? We have to
Yes,
give
ma'am.
focus on the involvement of all these three things. Okay, so this is the classroom management or classroom environment, how we can manage. And for that purpose there are different theories are there for the classroom management. Many psychologists have developed different theories for classroom management. You also have learned, I think, about all these theories, like behaviorism theory, transactional analysis theory, Ginnett model theory, K model theory, control theory. All these are there in your module. ତମମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଖେ ମଡ୍ୟୁଲ ଅଛି, ମଡ୍ୟୁଲ ପାଇ ଯାଇଛ ସମସ୍ତେ? ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ପେପରଟା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରୁଛେ, ଆମର ଏଇ ଯୋଉ 103
No,
ପେପର
ma'am. No,
BS
ma'am.
10 MES 103 ର ବ୍ଲକ 2 ଟା ଆଜି ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରୁଛେ. ଲାଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାସ ରେ ଆମେ ବ୍ଲକ 1 ଟା ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିଥିଲେ, ଆଜି ବ୍ଲକ 2 ଟା ଡିସ୍କସନ କରୁଛେ, ଆଉ ସେ ବ୍ଲକ 2 ର ଆମେ ୟୁନିଟ 6 ଟା ଡିସ୍କସନ କରୁଛେ. ଯଦି ବି ତମେ ମଡ୍ୟୁଲ ପାଇନଥିବ, ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି ତମେ ତାର ସଫ୍ଟ କପି ଡାଉନଲୋଡ କରିପାରିବ ଅନଲାଇନ. ତମ ଫୋନ ରେ ବି, ତମ ଲ୍ୟାପଟପ ରେ ବି, ତମେ ଯୋଉଠି ବି ତମର ଆର ସଫ୍ଟ କପି ଡାଉନଲୋଡ କରିପାରିବ. ଦେଖିବ ତମର ଏଇ ମଡ୍ୟୁଲ ରେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡାଏ ଥିଓରି ଦେଇଛି, ଯେମିତି କି ଏଇ ଯୋଉ କ୍ଲାସରୁମ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ର ବିହେଭିୟରିଜମ ଥିଓରି, ट्रांजैक्शनल एनालिसिस थियोरी, गिनेट मॉडल थियोरी, के मॉडल थियोरी, कंट्रोल थियोरी, बहुत गुड़ा थियोरी देछि. In the class it's not possible to discuss each and every theory, but I will highlight what are the important theories are there. कोडा कोडा बेसी important मु सेई जिंस गुडा तुमको कहबी हैला, से थियोरी गुडा का हमें
Okay, ma'am.
डिस्कशन करिबा. ओके, so before going to discuss all this theory, मुझे just theory गुडा ना कहि दोची. जेमति behaviorism theory रे importance दिया है on reinforcement, on motivation, trial and error theory, transactional analysis theory जोटा कि studies on the interaction of behavior, child, parent, adult ଉପରେ. ଯେମିତି ଆମର गिनेट मॉडल theory ଅଛି focus on the student autonomy. Okay, K model theory which focus on
Ma'am.
self monitoring. Control theory which focus on 4 basic human needs like love, fun, freedom और control ଉପରେ. ହେଲା, ଏଇ ତ just ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ଏଇ PPT କଣ କହୁଛ କି?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
your
voice
voice is
clear ଆସୁନି.
cracking.
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ, ଆରେ କଣ କହୁଥିଲ କି? PPT ଦେଖାଯାଉନି କହୁଛ ନା କଣ କହୁଛ?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sometimes your voice is cracking and sometimes the screen is not clearly
Okay,
visible.
so all these theories are there for the classroom management. We will discuss.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe the due to the network issue.
Ma'am, sometimes
Screen is visible to
your
all of
voice
you?
is jarring.
Yes, tell me which slide is going on.
Yes, ma'am.
ଭଲରେ ଭଏସ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
एबे सुना गले एबे सुना जाउछे
Yes, ma'am.
ओके नेटवर्क इश्यू रहउछे बट नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम यस एबे सुना जाउछे
Yes,
तो
ma'am.
ठीक अच्छे आमे नेक्स्ट टाइम डिस्कशन करिया ए थ्योरी गुडा के विषय आमे पर डिस्कशन करिवा ब्रीफली टिके किंतु एबे वर्तमान डिस्कशन करिवा मु जस्ट तुमको थ्योरी गुडा कर ना सब थ्योरी को ऊपर फोकस करूची खाली कहि दोची गोटे तरह जेमति कि आमे मु कहली जे कंट्रोल थ्योरी which focus on the basic human needs like love fun freedom और control ऊपर जदि आमे के मॉडल थ्योरी करिवा which focus on the self monitoring करे सेमिति सॉरी इटे गिनट मॉडल टा एच हे जे तार स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक हे जे नॉट एच इट इज जी okay it has focused on the standard economy okay focus on the standard sorry autonomy and this spelling mistake here I will rectify it okay these all again we will briefly discuss so next slide we will move to components of management what are the main components are required for the management so already we discussed regarding the classroom management and for that purpose the important components are teachers attention of the teacher is must required for the good classroom management rapport formation the teacher has to make the good rapport with the students rapport means you understand good relation
Yes, ma'am.
okay yes the teacher has to maintain the good rapport with the students like setting the realistic classroom rules it means when we are going to take a class there must be certain rules both for the students and for the teachers okay and those
Yes,
rules
ma'am.
and regulations must be realistic it must not be superficial okay not only
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
namesake there will be certain rules but no one is going to follow it so not like that those all the rules and regulations must be realistic in nature and it must not only for the students rules and regulations must be same both for the students and the teachers and good classroom management is going to determine good classroom management is going to determine on the basis of the uh, positive reinforcement used by the teachers I'm audible
Yes, ma'am.
yes so positive reinforcement are you able to understand the meaning of the word reinforcement
Yes,
reinforcement
ma'am.
माने कौन अच्छा reinforcement माने the it may be verbal or non-verbal reinforcement may be verbal or
Reward. Yes,
non-verbal
ma'am.
which is mostly used by the teachers to motivate the students towards the teaching learning process okay and
Yes,
reinforcement
ma'am.
always must be positive it must not be negative okay that is a one of the important component for good classroom management okay now slide is visible
Yes, ma'am.
yes good
Yes, ma'am.
okay and what other things are effective communication the communication skill of the teacher must be effective one and again the communication skill effective it depends on the certain phenomena like clear voice of the teacher okay and uh, the at the time of speaking as we know speaking is also a rhythm ଯେମିତି ଆମର ଗୀତ ଗାଇବାରେ କିଛି rhythm ଥାଏ ସେମିତି କଥା କହିବାରେ ବି ଆମର rhythm ଅଛି ଆମେ କେମିତି properly communicate କରିବା for that purpose କୋଉଠି ଆମେ stress ଦେଇକି କହିବା କୋଉଟାକୁ ଆମେ slowly କହିବା କେତେବେଳେ କହିଲା ବେଳେ ଆମେ କୋଉଠି pause ଦବା କୋଉଠି ରହି ରହି କହିବା କୋଉଠି ଆମକୁ ଅଧିକା stress ଦେଇକି କହିବା all these speaking skills a teacher has to know okay a teacher has to give more importance on the effective communication skill and effective communication skill is going to influence by many factors like clear voice of the teacher the rhythm of speaking and the rhythm of uh, um, um, stress and pause at the time of speaking using the stress and the pause so on the basis of it we are making our communication more effective so we can say it is a good speaking skills okay the next is that one other important factor for the good classroom management is your subject expertise whatever may be your good communication skill if you are not expert in your subject then definitely your communication will not be effective okay So as a teacher, you must have good expertise on the subject. You must have the in-depth knowledge in the subject. Then only you can able to speak properly. If you are not confident in your subject, then definitely it will influence your communication. So as a teacher, we must feel confident regarding the subject I am going to teach. Okay, so it will make your communication more effective. The next is understanding individual expectation. When there is a classroom interaction, both the teacher and the students both have certain expectations. The students come to the class with certain expectation, and the teacher is also going to teach with certain expectation. If there is the proper understanding between student and teacher, then only good the classroom management will be good. If the students have certain expectation, but that as a teacher you are not able to meet the expectation of your students, so definitely your classroom management will not be good. So as a teacher, it is our responsibility to understand the expectation of the students. For what purpose, for what purpose the students are sitting here, what they expect from me as a teacher. Okay, like that, as a teacher also, you must understand the need of your students. Okay, so it is going to influence your communication skill. And understanding, already I told you, understanding time management, because we have the certain time. When we are talking regarding the classroom management, we are going to teach for a specific time period. We must understand what is the time is there for me, and in that time what I have to complete. I have to make the proper distribution of the time according to the content. I must focus on each and every content. Now nothing is going to be neglected. Okay, and sometimes as a teacher I am going to teach what I know, but I am never ever given importance on what are the things are going to be included in the syllabus. So this is also going to influence your classroom management. And last is the goal setting. Both the students and the teacher, you must aware about the goal. For what purpose we are sitting here. Okay, we can say the achievement of the objectives or the goal is the main theme of the classroom management. If it is clear for both, then your classroom management definitely will be the good one. Okay, so these are the certain components for good classroom management. Then next we will come to the principles of developing professional relationship. Okay, before going to start this, I have some doubt. Can anyone tell to me what do you understand by profession, the word profession? Is it same to occupation or vocation? These are all the things are same? What is profession? What is vocation? They all are the same things? Ye kahibo mate?
Ma'am, professional means
Profession,
okay.
vocation, occupation, all are the same things?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, good. These all are not same. Can anyone tell to me what is the difference is there between these three words? କହିବ ନା ଜାଣିନ?
Um, Ma'am, vocational means that the ma'am regarding education or
हाँ हाँ, ये जो तीनटा
ma'am
वर्ड कहली
vocational means
ऑक्युपेशन, वोकेशन, प्रोफेशन,
yes ma'am.
कौन डिफरेंस ଅଛି तीनटा वर्ड?
Ma'am, vocational means when we prepare student or when we prepare ourselves for self earning.
Okay, in profession we are not giving importance on earning.
Yes, ma'am. Earning is important, but professional like being to be a doctor or to be a teacher.
তাহলে সে
That's are
ডিফারেন্সটা
called.
কোন? প্রফেশন, শুনো, everything we have given importance to earn money or to earn our livelihood, both in
Yes, ma'am.
occupation and also in profession. Suppose we can say a tailor is a, tailoring is a occupation or profession?
I think occupational.
Yes. Tailoring is a occupation when a person is going to do only by acquiring certain skills. But someone has done a course on tailoring. Now we are going to tell it is the fashion designing. Okay,
Yes,
someone
ma'am.
has done a particular course and after that is going to design the dress. Then it is a profession. Okay,
Profession.
so both occupation and profession main objective is to earn the livelihood. Okay, in occupation our objective is to earn the livelihood. In profession also our objective is to earn the livelihood. But what is the difference between these two, occupation and profession, is that profession requires certain qualification and there are certain things which has the social recognition. Suppose take example smuggling. Can we tell smuggling is a profession? It may be an occupation for someone else to earn the livelihood, but it is never a profession. Okay, so the professions which has the certain social status, okay, and social recognition, socially it is recognized, by doing that we can earn our livelihood, then it is called as a profession. Understand? Now you understand what is the difference? Whatever we do to earn our livelihood, it is called as a occupation. So we can say all profession are occupation, but all occupations are not profession. Understand? Suppose take example, someone is going to do the tuition and earning the livelihood. Can we say the person is a professional teacher?
Ma'am, please repeat it.
Suppose someone is going to do the tuition and earning his livelihood. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
can
Yes,
we
ma'am.
call that individual as a professional teacher?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No. For that, what is required? For that,
Ma'am,
what is
he
required?
should be, ma'am, he or she should be trained in B.Ed or called as a city.
Yes, there must be certain qualification. After that only we can say that the person is a professional teacher. So every occupation cannot be called as profession, but all professions are occupation. Yes or no? Every profession, our main objective is to earn our livelihood. आमे किछि money earn करिबा सेतमे आमे profession गुटे adopt करूची. Okay. So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
occupation which required certain qualification, certain designation, and which has the social recognition, that is called as profession. Okay. So that is the
Yes,
difference
ma'am.
between profession and occupation. And vocation is that after acquiring certain skills, just for my time pass, I'm going to do that. Then it is called as a my vocation. Suppose I know tailoring and I am going to stitch the clothes, but it is not my medium, or it is by help of which I am not earning the livelihood. Teaching is my profession, but I know tailoring. Okay, then at that time,
Okay.
tailoring is called my vocation. I have some certain vocational skills. Okay, so that is the vocation. So these are the real difference between the profession, occupation, and vocation. So for every profession, there are certain rules and regulations, and that is called as the ethics of that particular profession. Suppose it can be called as a doctor, as um, a businessman, there is certain ethics. Okay, as a
Okay, ma'am.
teacher, in teaching profession there are certain ethics. As an administrator there are certain ethics. Every profession has certain rules and regulations, and that is called as the ethics of that profession. And every profession has certain principles. Okay, so how we
Okay, ma'am.
must develop certain principles for developing the teaching profession? For the teaching profession, what the principles we have to follow? Okay, that is a common clear vision for good teaching and learning. If I want to adopt teaching as my profession, I must have a clear vision for what purpose I have adopted this profession. Okay, clear teaching. You must have the real interest. Only for the namesake, if you are interested to choose your profession, then never you will give your uh, mm, you can give justice to your profession. If suppose a profession must be a passion for an individual. If your profession and passion is the same thing, definitely will get the interest to do that. Okay, suppose you want to be a doctor, but by mistake you become a teacher. So you cannot give justice to your profession. Okay, you must have the real interest for the profession. You must have the clear vision for your profession. Then only you can give the justice for your profession. So that is the main principles to develop the professional ethics in the teaching profession. Next is the subject competency. I want to be that professionally, but I have no competency on the subject. Suppose I want to be a mathematics teacher, but I have no depth knowledge in mathematics. But I have the interest. I have interest, but I have no competence. That also we never can be a good teacher in mathematics. So you must have the subject competency. Next is pedagogical knowledge. Pedagogical knowledge means, in the teaching learning process, your subject knowledge is not final. You must know how to understand your children, how to understand the need of the children, how to understand, you must understand how to maintain the good relation between student and teacher. So that pedagogical aspects, you must have a clear knowledge regarding your pedagogical aspects. Okay, so that is required for the profession, teaching, mostly in the teaching profession. So like this, there must be a good relation between your colleagues. Suppose you can say, not in a good environment, a positive environment, so that for that purpose there is need to maintain good relation with all of the profession, like well-defined standards of practice and management, reflective practitioner. So there are certain principles on the basis of which we can adopt a proper professionalism. Okay. Suppose when we are talking regarding the teaching profession, these are the certain criteria we have to follow, then we can maintain it. So now you get it. What are the different principles of developing the professional relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
এটা বুঝি পারলে সমস্তে? Then next we will
Yes,
come
ma'am.
to, yes. Till now we are discussing regarding the teachers and the teaching professions. Now we will discuss regarding the students. What is the student? How a student should be? What are the different types of students are there? And as a teacher, how you will understand your students? Okay. તમે તો કહ્યું સ્ટુડન્ટ તો મને સ્ટુડન્ટ ટાઈપ્સ ઓફ સ્ટુડન્ટ કોણ? No, different types, because we know by nature we individually differ from each other, which is known as the individual difference. Every individual different from each other. Then you can think that how, as a teacher, when you are going to deal with many students, how you will meet the needs of each and every student. Okay, no doubt we cannot meet the need of each and every student, but we can categorize the students in the different heads. Okay, all that individual differ from each other, but on the basis of certain characteristics, on the basis of certain traits and personality, we can categorize our students into different types. Like we can say anxious students. You will find mostly the certain students who are always anxious to learn, to ask to teachers, okay, to interact with teachers. We can categorize them as the anxious students. And there are certain students there who are always remain quiet and always silent. Okay, whatever you will tell, they will not respond. They are mostly proactive. Okay, so they are called as the silent students. There will be certain group of students whose nature is always to give the complaint. Okay, whatever you will do, they will find the mistake and they will give the complaint. They are called, we can categorize them as the complaint students. Okay, so slide is visible to all of you. Just you can see in this slide, I have mentioned all these types of students. Okay, complaint students. Like there are certain students who are always independent. Whatever the works you will assign, they will do it independently without depending on others or without more interfering in others' matter. Okay, they are called as the independent students. There are certain students who are having mostly the negative traits, and always to what extent you will encourage them also, they will feel discouraged. Okay, we can categorize them as the discouraged students. And there are certain groups of students who have always some low self-esteem. Some persons will be there, they always feel that I am not having that quality, how I can do it, I'm not blessed that much, so I can't do it. And those students are called as the snippers. Okay, we can categorize them as the snippers. To if even though you want to motivate them, it is very difficult to really motivate them in the classroom because they live with their low self-esteem. They need really the psychological counseling. Such type of students need the psychological counseling. Snippers. Okay, you will find certain students who have certain leadership quality, always they will come to front, they always want to take the responsibility. Okay, they even by taking risks also they will do the work, they are called as the heroes. Okay, and another group of students will be there in the class who always want to draw the attention of the teachers knowingly, or they will do something only to draw the attention of the teacher. They are called as the attention seekers. Okay, so if we are able to because as we know, for our good classroom management we must have to understand our students properly. So we first of all have to identify these students on the basis of it. Who are the anxious students, who are the silent students, who are the complaint students, who are independent, who are discouraged, who are snippers, heroes, and who are the attention seekers. If we are able to identify all these students, and on the basis of it we can manage our class properly. What I'm going to tell, you are getting all these things, you are getting all the
Yes, ma'am.
points.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then next we will come to what is the condition necessary for effective communication. When we are talking regarding classroom management, already I told to you.
ଭିଜୁଆଲ କିଛି ଦେଖାଯାଉନି ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଦେଖା ଯାଉନି, କାହାକୁ ବି ଦେଖା ଯାଉନି,
No, ma'am.
କିଛି ବି ପିପିଟି ଦେଖା ଯାଉନି।
ନା
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
wait.
ନା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
Yes, କୁହ କଣ କହୁଛ କିଏ?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କିଛି ଦେଖାଯାଉନାହିଁ।
Okay, okay, okay. Again, I'm sharing my screen. Just wait for a minute. ଏବେ ଦେଖାଗଲା,
Yes, ma'am.
ଦେଖାଗଲା?
Yes ma'am।
Yes. So now we have to discuss regarding conditions necessary for effective communication. What is really, what must be the condition to make our classroom for a effective communication? Okay, already we have discussed many things at the time of classroom management. Again, the same points I have focused here. So first is that good communication, the teacher must have a good communication skill. That is the first most essential thing. Teacher's voice must be clear, teachers must have the rhythm of, teacher must know the rhythm of the speaking. Okay, and teacher must have the competency over the topic, realness or genuineness. Teacher must not be superficial, the teacher must be the real one, genuine one. Okay, these all are the factors which is going to influence our effective communication. But beyond that, one other things also influence our good communication. One is active listening. Suppose you are going to speak but you feel that no one is listening, then you will never feel to speak again. Yes or no? ତମେ କହୁଛ
Yes,
କିନ୍ତୁ
ma'am.
ତମେ feel କରିପାରୁଛ ଯେ କେହି ଶୁଣୁନାହାନ୍ତି, then you will never interested to speak. So active listening is also a one of the important factor for the good communication. Yes, when you feel that who are sitting in front of me, they are listening properly, they are concentrating on me, then you will be motivated to speak. Okay, so active listening is must essential for speaking. Like that, your verbal communication, your verbal questioning, lecture, discussion, these all are also the necessary condition for effective communication. Suppose uh, I'm going to speak only in one way, okay, without asking or without asking anything. What I know in one way I'm going to speak, then it never will be a effective communication. The communication must be a two-way process. You must ask at the time of speaking, at the time of communicating, there must be also the, as we are talking regarding the offline classes, there must be the eye to eye contact among the communicator. Okay, among the teachers and the students, there must be the face to face interaction, there must be eye to eye contact. Then only the classroom will be more interesting and the communication must be the effective one. If the teacher is going to teach in the class but only by seeing the walls, can the students will feel interested to listen?
No, ma'am.
No, there must be the proper eye contact with the students. Okay, like that, there must be a discussion. A lecture, only a lecture will be never will be effective communication. Only the teacher is going to give the lecture, then it never will be effective communication. There will be a proper discussion. Okay, and there must be empathetic understanding between student and teacher. Empathetic understanding means the teacher must have the face reading skill. It means when you are going to speak, by listening, by seeing the face of your students, you can understand that which students is able to understand, or which student is not able to understand. You must be able to read it, and that is called as the empathetic understanding. And after that, if a student is not able to understand, again we have to repeat it, we have to go to back and again have to focus on it. Then only your communication will be the effective one, which is called as the empathetic understanding. Like when there is communication, you are going to ask something and someone has given the good correct response. At that time you must give the acceptance to the answer. Suppose you ask the students, one of the students has correctly given the answer but you did not accept it. Yes, you have done the correct answer, or by giving a smile, or very good, like that you have to motivate. If you have ignored it, then other students will never will be interested to participate in the communication. So you must give emphasis on the positive reinforcement, prizing, acceptance, and understanding. All these things, if you will take into consideration, then only your classroom communication will be interactive. Okay, so these are the certain factors which is going to influence our effective communication inside the classroom. Like that, we must give emphasis on the paraphrasing also. Paraphrasing is also one of the factor for a good communication skill. Can you tell to me what do you understand by the word paraphrasing?
Ma'am, you have
Slide
already
dekha
mentioned.
jauchi? Yes,
Yes,
I have already mentioned in the slide. Paraphrasing means, suppose I have given the definition of a particular concept in the blackboard, and when I have asked the child, the students have given the same definition in the class. So I may feel that the child has didn't understand anything. Only the child has remembered the things. But at that time, if the child understand the meaning and explain it in his own words, then a
Yes.
teacher will feel that really the students has understand it. And that is called as that, to express something after listening something, to express it in your own words is called as the paraphrase. Okay. And paraphrasing, if it is the student's response is on the basis of the paraphrasing, then a teacher will be motivated to teach. Okay. So when only memorization is there and only we have given importance on the cramming, then the classroom will not be interesting. There must be paraphrasing. Okay, like clarifying, every whatever the doubts are there for the students, it must be clarified by the teacher. If any doubt is there, teacher will not give focus on it, will be overcome it. Then also classroom will not be interesting. We must give importance on clarifying, giving feedback. uh, Already I have mentioned the nonverbal communication, like your eye contact, your facial expression, your gesture, touch, movements. These all are the factors which is going to influence the effective communication inside the classroom. Okay, here I have mentioned all the features, like paralanguage. Paralanguage means your tone, your pitch, quality of voice, rate of speaking. You are teaching and you are teaching like a high speed, no one is able to understand, everything is going over the head of the students. Definitely your communication will not be the good one. Okay, you must, if at the time of communicating with the students, you must know the level of the students, their standard, and on the basis of that you are going to teach. As a teacher, you must not feel that to what, how you are qualified and what you know, but you have to teach according to the need of the students, according to the standard of the students. Then only your communication and classroom communication will be the effective one. You must not teach as a teacher what you know and what is your standard. Okay, according to your standard, if you will teach, if you will not consider the level and standard of the students, then also the communication or the classroom teaching will not be interesting. Then the assertiveness. Assertiveness means it is being able to take a stance based on the conviction without putting the person down. It means sometimes you know that someone is wrong, but still directly not going to tell. Suppose you ask a question to the student has not given the correct answer, but at that time you should not laugh on the student. You do not know anything, you can't do anything. We should not do like that. We must give focus at that time on the assertiveness. Assertiveness means whatever the answer is given by the students, directly we will not reject it, but we will try to relate it. Yes, whatever you have tell, but you are not 100% correct, but the real thing is that, but you have your answer is near to it. Like that, we have to give the importance on assertiveness, not on the rejection. It means the child must feel accepted by the teacher. Okay, so these are the certain features or the criteria on the basis of which, if you will communicate in the class, then our classroom must be the more interesting and more effective. I think we have covered most of the things under that unit 6, and next is that unit 7. I think now the time is over. Any doubt is there, you just ask, and in the again in the next class we will start the unit 7. Okay. Can
Ma'am, in the point that is based on a condition necessary for effective communication, you have mentioned the point silent and time. Kindly
yes,
explain the point.
silent and time also influence the your
Effective
communication. Time
communication.
already I
Yes,
told
ma'am.
to you. Yes,
Yes, time management.
time management. Silent means you have asked the question, but you have never given the scope to think about it. Understand what I'm going to tell?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. That silent is also required in the class. You just give, I have asked the question, and all of a sudden I only have given the answer. But I have never given that time to be, for some time to be silent and to think about it. That is called as the silent and the time. That
Okay,
point
ma'am.
means that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Any doubt? So, okay, I stopped my shared screening.
Ma'am.
So, we will end our class here. Again,
Yes, ma'am.
next class,
Ma'am,
again, we
sorry.
will meet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.